Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Eve coming to you with another episode of Hit the Sled, broadcasting live from the Hit the Sled studios. We're coming to you with week 3 of the National Football League scoreboard. What an interesting day in the National Football League from the 1 o'clock games. When you look at this 1 o'clock games, man, first game we're going to talk about is the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the Los Angeles Chargers 20-10. This game, you're going to have to start with the play of Justin Fields. Justin Fields played his best game, in my opinion, that he's had so far as a quarterback in the NFL. Justin Fields went 25 for 32, 245 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. But that turnover was a deflection turnover. He had a passer rating of 96. By far, in my opinion, Justin Fields had his best day as a professional quarterback. The Los Angeles Chargers, on the other hand, did not have that good of a day, especially on offense. Justin Herbert came into the game with a high ankle sprain, and he left the game because of the high ankle sprain. Before leaving the game, Herbert was somewhat effective. He was 12 for 18, 125 yards, and 1 touchdown, with a passer rating of 105.1. But that's not the story. The story is the play. The story is the play of Justin Fields. For the first time this season, Justin Fields threw for over 200 yards. For the first time this season, Justin Fields threw the ball for 245 yards and a touchdown. The Pittsburgh Steelers defensively played an outstanding game. TJ Watt was his normal great defensive self. He was causing havoc. He was drawing penalties. And he even had a sack. The matchup for TJ Watt this week was against the very good rookie, Joe Alt. And TJ Watt made Joe Alt look like a rookie. Joe Alt played a good game for a rookie, but TJ Watt drew a couple holding penalties. He had a sack. He forced the Los Angeles Chargers to have to account for him on every passing play. And that's what a great player is supposed to do. They ran the ball. The Pittsburgh Steelers ran the ball 31 times for 114 yards and a touchdown. Hey, man, that's hard running right there. But it's not about the running. It's not about the yards. It's about the attempts again. Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Najee Harris, 18 carries for 70 yards. Cordell Patterson had 4 for 33. Justin Fields didn't scramble a lot this game, which was shocking to me. He had 6 carries for 6 yards. And Jalen Warren had 3 carries for 5 yards. George Pickens had 5 catches for 57 yards. Calvin Austin, who broke the game open, had 4 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown. Hey, you have to credit Justin Fields. Justin Fields played an outstanding game. He was accurate. He was throwing the ball on rhythm. And to me, hopefully for his sake, he can take this and move on with it and take his game to the next level. The Los Angeles Chargers, on the other hand, They gotta get Herbert healthy. Herbert, that high ankle sprain, it's gonna take him a long time for him to heal from that. He might not play next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. Also in this game, Joey Bosa again got injured. They were saying that it was some type of groin injury or something to that effect. Let's be honest. Joey Bosa, while being a great talent, his body is letting him down. Joey Bosa has missed a lot of games the past couple years, upwards of 30 games he's missed. He cannot stay healthy. And one thing if I know about Jim, watching Jim from the time he was with the 49ers to his 10 years at Michigan, hey man, Jim ain't, if you can't play, man, he ain't really got too much time for you. If Joey Bosa can't turn this around with his health, I will not see. I don't think I will see Joey Bosa being a Charger after this season. They will move on from Joey Bosa if he can't stay healthy. One thing about the NFL, they always say your best ability is your availability. And Joey Bosa, unfortunately, his body is making him unavailable for work. The Chargers' run game was practically shut down. Rashawn Slater, the left tackle for the Los Angeles Chargers, had to leave the game because of back injuries. The Chargers ran the ball 20 times for 60 yards. That is primarily what the Chargers want to do. They want to be physical up front. They want to run the ball, and the Steelers took them out of that. Herbert not being healthy, not being able to push the ball down the field, also was able to allow the Steelers to stack the box, come downhill, and the Chargers, other than the first couple series, they were not able to take a full advantage of that. So you got to credit Mike Tomlin and his coaching staff, because what they did, they took advantage of Justin Herbert's not being mobile, not being healthy, and it's not their problem. Like Mike Tomlin say, everybody is happy that you have that problem. Nobody cares that you have that problem. Matter of fact, they're happy that you have it. I'm paraphrasing. So the Steelers get a big win. Again, Justin Fields, in my opinion, had his best game as a pro quarterback. He had a very good game, and hopefully, again, for his sake, that he's able to gain confidence from this performance and start stacking better and better performance as he moves forward. I'm gonna tell you this, in my humble opinion, it's gonna be hard for Russell to get back in that quarterback position. Justin Fields taking advantage of his opportunity. He's taking advantage of his opportunity and he's running with it, as you should, as you're supposed to do. So for me, I will believe we will continue to see Justin Fields, the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This was an outstanding game for Justin Fields. Justin Fields played one of his better games again. Like I said, I cannot wait to get a hold of that film, watch that film, and be able to see exactly how was it that the Steelers took advantage. I could tell you this: they gave Justin Fields time. They was able to protect the Chargers. The Chargers did some very good things, but from what I saw, the Steelers, Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, has to be given a lot of credit of what they were doing offensively. They didn't run for a huge yardage. Like I said, 31 carries for 114 yards, but that's a great balance. They ran the ball 31 times and they threw the ball 32 times. Now that's balance. That's great balance. That's the type of balance you need to beat a team like the Chargers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in a catbird seat right now in the NFC, in the AFC North. The Ravens are currently playing the Dallas Cowboys. The Ravens are currently 0-2. It's a must-win game for the Ravens, and they playing like it. They just drove right down the field with Lamar doing a read option and scoring a touchdown. Ravens up, about to be up 7-0 on the Cowboys. Cowboys got the ball first, didn't do much with it, and the Ravens went right down the field. So you got to credit, you have to credit the Ravens on that drive right there. So as the Steelers go to 3-0, the Bengals are 0-2. Cleveland Browns are 1-2. And the Ravens are 0-2, playing right now to try to get to 1-2. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in the driving seat. They beat the Chargers today. Next week, they go to Indianapolis to play the Colts. I would think they're going to win that game. And then they play the Cowboys Sunday night. That's a 50-50 game right there. That game is at home. That can go either way. The Steelers are stacking up wins that like you're supposed to do. All these wins matter. It don't matter how you get it. It matters that you have them. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are stacking up victories as you go. And that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not shocked that the Mike Tomlin team doing that. People want to run Mike out of town. I know Pittsburgh Steelers fans that want to fire Mike, want Mike fired. I'm gonna tell you this now, man. I'm gonna tell you now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on their way. As you look at the next game that we're going to talk about, the New York Giants beat the Cleveland Browns 21-15. The New York Giants behind Daniel Jones and Malik Neighbors. New York Giants, man, listen, arguably they could have said they got to win. They should have beat my Washington Commanders last week. They feel like they should have got that win. They gave a game away. I'm gonna tell you this: they ain't get that game away against Cleveland. They went in there. Cleveland jumped up on them early. They fumbled to open the kickoff. Cleveland scores very next play, and they was off to the races after that. The Cleveland Browns are in serious trouble. The Cleveland Browns do not know what to do with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is a shadow of himself. Deshaun Watson doesn't even look like Deshaun Watson from college. So I won't even go to his time in Houston. Deshaun Watson doesn't look like nothing like his former self. Cleveland got serious problems. Serious problems. And it's a Deshaun Watson problem. That's really what it is. It's a Deshaun Watson problem. And they have a situation where they can't get rid of a player that's not playing to the level of his contract. Deshaun Watson has $250 million guaranteed to him. And for some reason, Cleveland decided to redo his contract, and now they definitely can't get rid of him even if they want to, because if they get rid of him, he's like 90-something million on the cap. Why they did that, that's beyond me. But they said they needed to do it. The New York Giants, on the other hand, Daniel Jones, steady Eddie. I'm gonna start steady Eddie Daniel. He was 24 for 34, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a passer rating of 100. Man, let me tell you something. Daniel Jones wasn't the problem. Daniel Jones played well last 2 weeks, man. Daniel Jones has played well the last 2 weeks. Where they could have easily been 2-1. Daniel Jones threw the ball. He had some of his typical Daniel Jones play, little dimwit stuff, little stupid stuff where you scratching your head like, what the hell is he thinking? But he definitely played well today, though. He played well enough for them to win, and they sure did win. So the New York Giants got a much-needed win against the Cleveland Browns, and the Giants played the Cowboys on Thursday night. That's a big game. Because if the Cowboys lose to the Ravens today, that makes them 1-2. The Giants 1-2. Whoever goes 1-3, that's a problem. That's a problem. But the Giants they're above average football team. They're not a bad football team by any means, but they're not a team that you think can win a Super Bowl. They're just not that team. As far as the Cleveland Browns, man, they got problems, like I said. They got real problems. So the next game we're going to talk about is the Packers and the Titans. Jordan Love was practicing this week, even came out for warm-ups. It appeared that he could be playing, that he might play. However, he was deactivated and he did not play. He didn't end up playing. So Malik Willis ended up playing the whole game. He had a real good, decent game against his former team. He went 13 for 19, 202 yards and a touchdown in Tennessee, in Nashville. The Green Bay Packers are 2-1. The Green Bay Packers, everyone thought that because Jordan Love got hurt, they might be in trouble. Well, lo and behold, they're 2-1. They're 2-1. And you got to give them credit. You have to give Matt LaFleur a lot of credit for the Green Bay Packers not going down in the dumps after losing their quarterback, their starting quarterback. They traded for Malik Willis just a couple weeks ago, and Malik Willis has came in and been functional, had performed at a high level, and not only that, they're winning football games with them, where to the point they don't have to rush Jordan Love back. And if I'm them, I'm not rushing him back. He has an MCL sprain in his knee. He should not be rushed in his left knee. He should not be in a hurry to get back out there. Give him an additional week if you can. There's no need to rush him back. The Green Bay Packers have the Minnesota Vikings next week. Now, they might need Jordan Love for that, because we're gonna get to the Vikings, man. The Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, man. The Vikings, the Vikings might be for real, but we'll get to that. In regard to the Tennessee Titans, Will Levis, 26 for 34, 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That experiment ain't going too well. He turned the ball over again twice. He had 2 picks, and that's not good enough at the quarterback position. Second round pick, high second round pick. I think Tennessee Titans might be in the quarterback business again. But let's see. It's early in the season. They're 0-3. The way they're going, it looks like they are going to be in the quarterback business again. But the story is about the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay ran the ball today 37 times for 188 yards. See, they leaned on the running game because they knew they couldn't put all the pressure on Malik Willis. And that's how you play. That's how you win football games. And what happens is that you play in Green Bay, it gets really cold. I bet you it's already cold up there now. Right now in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I bet you it's cold right now. I bet you they looking at 60-degree weather up there. 50 degrees, 60-degree weather up there. Because when the weather turn up there in Green Bay, you better have a running game. And it looks like they are developing a run game. Once again, they ran the ball today 37 times for 188 yards. And you know what they did too? They only threw it 19 times. Typically, if Jordan Love was there, they might run the ball 19 times and throw the ball 37 times. Isn't that amazing? When you feel as though you ain't got no quarterback, then all of a sudden, you doing big things. You out here running the ball on 40, 50 times. You do whatever it takes to win the football game. And that's what the Packers are doing. And in the meantime, though, they're getting better and better running the football. And that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. That is exactly what you need to do. The Packers, they got Minnesota next week. That's a big game. Hopefully, Jordan Love is healthy at that point. He can get himself out there. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see Jordan Love back out there against Kevin O'Connell and that Minnesota Viking team. We're going to talk about Minnesota. Don't you worry about that. We're going to talk about Minnesota. Next game we're going to talk about is the Chicago Bears versus the Indianapolis Colts. Hey, man, I'm gonna tell y'all something now. The Chicago Bears, they also have issues. But they have a different kind of issues. They got a young kid who is not developing as they would like him to. I said this a couple weeks ago. I told a couple of my friends this. I told them this. I said, hey, it's more than just Caleb. It's more than just Caleb not playing as a rookie, going through the typical growing pains as a rookie. All rookies coming into the National Football League are going to struggle. Rarely does an NFL rookie quarterback comes in and just takes off like a rocket. Dan Marino did it. Dan Marino is an all-time great. Don't not let people disparage Dan Marino just because he didn't win a Super Bowl. Dan Marino is an all-time great quarterback. When Dan Marino retired, Dan Marino had every passing record in NFL history. Those are the facts. Dan Marino, when he retired, he had the passing marks for most touchdowns, most completions, most yards. There is no time when Dan Marino played where Dan Marino, you didn't just see, you like, man, look at that. Dan Marino was stuck in Miami where they ain't had no defense. They didn't know, God rest his soul, Don Shula, he couldn't put together a defense. I remember there were times where the only defensive player they had worth anything was Brian Cox. Whoa. The Ravens look, man, the Ravens out here doing explosive things on offense, off the pass. Okay. Lamar said, enough with this. Only Dan Marino didn't struggle. CJ Stroud didn't struggle much last year, but he did struggle some initially. So those are the only two players for me as a rookie in NFL history, and the NFL been around for 100 years. Only two men has ever came in as rookie quarterbacks and not struggled. Caleb Williams is currently struggling at quarterback. He is struggling mightily. But there's another thing going on with Caleb Williams. And I said this to a couple of my friends, and I'm saying it to my audience on Hit the Sled. Caleb Williams, this is the first time in Caleb Williams' ever playing football where he steps on the football field and he's not the best player. There's a mental aspect to his struggle going on right now. Caleb gets on that field, he has to regain his confidence. Things that he's been used to doing, he just cannot do that anymore. What do you mean by that, Eve? What I mean, Caleb was used to, he get in the pocket, he could just throw it around, somebody come, he could juke this dude, run around, then boom, he throw it 70, 60 yards on the rope. He's attempted to do that in the first couple games of the season. They've been picks, interceptions. Caleb is used to, he can not go through his reads and just do his athletic ability, run around a little bit, play off schedule, and throw the ball. That ain't gonna work. Caleb Williams has to play on schedule. Now, for someone who has been a superior athlete, when he comes across now a situation where he just cannot get over, he can't just survive based on athletic ability, that's a mental struggle. He has to say to himself, hold on, what? What's wrong with me? Man, what's going on? And it's a struggle. So the point I'm trying to make is it's more than just growing pains with Caleb. Now, I believe as the season progresses, he plays more and more. By mid-season, he will start to get it. If he's mentally tough enough, he'll get on the other side of it. But that's a tough ask. He has to be mentally strong right now because he is struggling. And he is struggling mightily. He is struggling a lot. And also, he doesn't have the best offensive line. That offensive line is not very good. I like Ryan Poles, African-American GM. I believe he's going to be a very good GM, but I think he made a mistake of not building up that offensive line a lot more than what he did. Listen, the Bears are eventually going to move into an indoor dome stadium in Chicago, which is a shame because in all the years we've been watching football, I know all the years I've been in Chicago, always played outside in the elements. It gets cold in Chicago. It gets cold. And when it gets cold, guess what? You need an offensive line to run the football. Ryan Poles, instead of investing more and more into that offensive line, he had an opportunity to draft a tackle. He didn't. He drafted Rome Medusa. There's nothing against the young man, the receiver out of Washington. Nothing against him. However, you need a lineman. Drafting Rome was a luxury pick. And I don't think the Bears could waste their time on a luxury pick. Now, you play outside, late September, the weather getting ready to change in Chicago. It's getting ready to get cold. It gets frigid. Man, throwing that ball around in Chicago when it's frigid like that, it's not the pleasant thing. Running the ball is. I think a lot of times franchises make the mistake and always go away from their identity. What do you mean by that, Eve? What I mean by that is when you're the Chicago Bears, your main identity is defense, the monsters of the Midway. Running the football, Walter Payton, Neil Anderson, Brad Mustard, Thomas Jones. These are the type you have a legendary figure, Walter Payton, for over 12 years, whose last game was against the Washington Redskins in the playoff game. There's no better for a Redskin fan, us watching Redskin Darryl Green hurting over the guy, over the Chicago Bears dude and scoring a touchdown. There's no better highlight for me here. Pat Summerall and John Madden talking about Darryl Green. He's gonna score. He's in. Right? No better sound. But one of the images of the NFL is seeing Walter Payton know that he's getting ready to retire. That was his last game. He got his hand on his helmet. Walter Payton, all-time great. God rest his soul. And now Chicago, the Bears, defensively, they're good defensively. They're a good team, even though they gave up some things you would not think they would give up against Anthony Richardson. But credit the Colts. And that offensive line is just not that good. Now, it is not as poor as it was when Justin Fields was there a couple years ago. I can admit that. And Caleb is not helping the issues. Schematically, I don't think the offensive coordinator is doing a good enough job helping Caleb out. There was a point in the game, the score was 7-6. And they tried to run a play action. It looked like it was a 7-step drop. They tried to go deep, and Caleb had a strip sack. It's not that it was just a strip sack. It's just that because of the play action, they tried to widen out the end for him to take a long time for him to get to the quarterback, but the play was being blocked by two tight ends, and that DN beat rookie. The rookie out of UCLA, Lotu, he beat both of them. He beat two tight ends. Man, if you play in the NFL, there's no way as a defensive end, then on no uncertain terms should a tight end ever block you. Not these tight ends nowadays, who they just glorify big receivers. Not these glorified receiver tight ends right now, because ain't no Don Warns, ain't no Ben Coates out there where they use the block and catch. Ain't none of them out there. So, man, that right there, that should tell you something right there. So it's a combination, a lot of things going on in Chicago. And the Colts took advantage of it. My man Jonathan Taylor, 23 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor is a good back. He got his money. Good for him. He got paid last year. He got his money. Caleb, 33. He threw the ball 33 times for 50. 30. He threw the ball 52 times for 363 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. There is no way that Caleb should be throwing the ball 52 times. There's no reason why. They ran the ball 28 times. Yes, 28 times for 63 yards. That's unacceptable. The greatest thing for a rookie to be successful, a rookie needs to have a running game and a defense. Any rookie. And again, I'm saying it again. A rookie quarterback should be part of the reason why they win, not the reason why they lose. If he's part of if he's the reason why the reason why they lose, it's a problem. You got to take the ball out of their hands. You got to run the ball. You got to play defense to help a rookie out till he gets up to speed. And the Bears are not doing that. He threw the ball entirely too much. 52 times. He should not be throwing the ball 52 times. That number should be in reverse. Now, I understand the situation of the game. They got down. They had to throw the ball to catch up. Yeah, I get that. But while the game was still close, because this game was like 7-0 for a while. And they were struggling. So the Bears are another team that are having big issues. The Colts, on the other hand, they just jolly along. They won it. They won a game. They won 2. Anthony Richardson, 10 for 20, 167 yards and 2 iron teeth. The Colts got a problem too. Colts need a quarterback. In my opinion, Anthony Richardson is not good enough. He's not the guy. Anthony Richardson is not the guy to lead the Indianapolis Colts. Last year, he tore his labrum in the shoulder. He was out for the year. Man, he got that man by his neck. That's what, man, if that ain't holding, I don't know what else is 73. That's flat out holding there. Cowboys called for holding. So this is, to be all honest, this is Anthony Richardson rookie year. And he's a 50% passer. Anthony Richardson be missing passes, man. Sometimes you think a high school kid can hit that. He's not accurate. CeeDee Lamb just fumbled again. Baltimore's on top of it. They said, man, we ain't going down without on 2. They responded. Good for them. Good for the Ravens. Good for the Ravens. So the Colts got a problem too. If you ain't got a quarterback, you ain't got nothing in the game of football. That goes for high school, that goes for college, and that goes to the NFL. If you ain't got no quarterback, you ain't winning nothing. So the Bears, Caleb, man, you're going to hear Caleb on TV. Man, Caleb this week is going to be a big deal. Caleb struggles. Caleb might be a bust. Man, it's 3 games into this man rookie year. Don't listen to none of that. Don't listen to that. Caleb is going to be okay. He's going through the natural rookie growing pains. The question again I want to ask you, and I talked to some of my co-workers, some of my boys. I tell them this: what new job have you ever taken for the first time? And in 3 weeks of taking that job, you automatically up to speed and doing it. I'm talking about real profession. Some that this is the first time you really ever did it. I ain't talking about working at Mickey D's. I'm talking about real job. That has a lot of complicated concepts and stuff like it takes time for you to get up to speed. Now he's a pro, he's a professional, he's getting paid millions of dollars. He got to figure it out. And that's why I'm giving him to through mid-season. And I believe by mid-season, which is about 5-6 weeks from now, he'll be on the other side of this. It takes time, man. It takes time. All-time great Peyton Manning threw 28 picks. He became a Hall of Famer. His rookie year. He became a Hall of Famer. He threw 28 interceptions. And Peyton came out on the other side. I don't think Caleb is going to do that, but it's going to take time. He's a rookie. It's going to take time, man. It's going to take time. So credit the Colts for getting that win. That was a big win for them. They get up to Schneid. They got their first win, so good for them. The next game we're going to talk about is the Minnesota Vikings against the Houston Texans. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you guys something. Minnesota is for real. Minnesota is playing awesome football. And here's the funny thing. They are not just they just beating people soundly. And it's not about some type of fancy offense or anything like that. Sam Darnold, 17 for 28, 181 yards, 4 touchdowns. The running game, 28 rushes, 118 yards. But what they are doing, they playing very good defense. Very good defense. They turning people over. And they taking advantage of their opportunities. Defensively, they whooped the Minnesota Vikings up front. Defensively, the Minnesota Vikings had 5 sacks and 9 tackles for loss. They sacked C.J. Stroud 5 times. Knocked them down multiple times. That's great defense, man. Those are people out there, them dudes out there playing great defense. When I watched the Minnesota Vikings play the San Francisco 49ers on film last week, what I saw a team that was fast. They tackled very well, and they didn't take no prisoners. Brian Flores is doing an exceptional job coordinating that defense. And they don't have a lot of names on that defense. They don't have no stars. The only dude I can really tell you that people might know about is Jim Leonard at the safety, number 22. I believe he went to Notre Dame, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Minnesota is doing an excellent job of playing situational football. When they have an opportunity to cash in for touchdown, they cash in for touchdowns. When they got an opportunity to get you off the field third down, they get you off the field on third down. They beat the Houston Texans. And I believe Houston Texans, they have a real opportunity to play Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. I think, to me personally, I think Houston can't even get to a Super Bowl. And Minnesota, they came up there, and Minnesota just took them apart. 34-7. That's like a college score right there. C.J. Stroud, all-world quarterback for the Houston Texans. He was 20 for 31, 215 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. He threw that touchdown late, too. That wasn't an early touchdown. Man, that game was 21-0, 28-0 for a while. For a while. Minnesota, Kevin O'Connell is doing a very good job with that team. They lose J.J. McCarthy early. They lose J.J. McCarthy during preseason with a meniscus tear in his knee. And Sam Darnold is the guy. And Sam Darnold has taken his job and he's running with it. Sam Darnold is not doing anything crazy. He's thrown a couple picks here and there. He's thrown a couple picks here and there. But apart from that, Sam Darnold is doing a very good job. He's part of the reason why they win, and he's not the reason why they lose. And that's what you need to do. That's what you gotta do. So Minnesota, credit to them. They jumped out there and put it on Houston today. Hey, they stacking up wins too. They got the Packers next week. That should be a very good game. I don't know why that's a 1:00 game. That should be a 4:00 game. But I understand why it's a 1:00 game, because you got the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes playing the Los Angeles Chargers, excuse me. So that's gonna be a 4:25 game. Jim Nance and Tony Romo will be at that game. But hey, man, this is something that you got to keep your eye on with the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings are going on the road to Green Bay. For their sake, I know they're happy about it. It's not too cold. Minnesota's a dome team. Going to Green Bay, it's not that cold yet, so they get that out the way. Unfortunately, they probably playing Chicago somewhere in December when it is cold over there in the North Midwest. So that was something right there. That was something right there. The next game we're gonna talk about is the Eagles and the Saints. The Philadelphia Eagles went up to New Orleans, where New Orleans have been beating people down. New Orleans, they beat the Carolina Panthers down. Then they go to Dallas. They beat the Cowboys behind all up and down Jerry's World. The Saints, they feel confident about themselves. I talked to a Saints fan early in the week. Man, he told me they're going to the Super Bowl. And I had to think to myself, I was about to, man, I ain't want to bust his bubble, but I wanted to ask him, is Sean Payton and Drew Brees out there? Because last time I checked, Drew Brees got old and he had to retire, and Sean Payton, he down there in Denver. But that man told me the Saints going to the Super Bowl. I said, okay. All right. Well, the Eagles came in there after that loss, that dramatic loss to the Falcons. They come in there and they sneak out and get a victory with no AJ Brown. They lose linemen all over the place. Linemen getting hurt. Then as the game went on, Devontae Smith, he gets injured. And even before Devontae Smith gets injured, you got Jalen Hurts committing turning the ball over. Jalen Hurts throws a pick in the end zone, in the red zone. He turns around, he's scrambling, he gets stripped because he didn't have ball security. He ends up going 29 for 38, 311 yards, 0 touchdown, one interception. For the Eagles to get that win, they had to lean heavily on Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley had 17 carries, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns. One of those carries was a 65-yarder. Man, let me tell you something. All the Eagles got to do is just run Saquon, man. Especially with these receivers, these issues that they have in their receiver. That's what they need to do. They have to run Saquon. Now, the question is, are they gonna want to do that? They should. They should want to do that, but I don't think Nick Sirianni, the Eagles coach, he wants to run the ball, really. So you got Jalen Hurts throwing for 311 yards. having two turnovers. But Saquon was the reason why they won that game. Saquon played an outstanding game. You would think all they have to do is just lean on Saquon and they'll be all right. No, they're going to try to put all on Jalen Hurts. And when you look at the Saints had to come, they came back down to earth. That's one thing about the NFL. The NFL will bring you back down to earth. And the Saints got put down to earth. The Saints, Derek Carr, who didn't play that bad. He was 14 for 25, 142 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. The pick came at the end. He did a decent job. The Eagles defense mainly shut down Alvin Kamara. 26 carries, 87 yards. So they did what they were supposed to do, the Eagles defense. And to be honest with you, if Jalen Hurts didn't turn the ball over, the Eagles would have fared a lot better. The Eagles would have fared a whole lot better if Jalen Hurts didn't turn the ball over. If Jalen Hurts didn't turn the ball over, the Eagles would have been way, way, way ahead than where they were now. But they went in the Saints and playing in that Superdome. It's not easy, folks. It's not easy at all. It is not easy to play in the Superdome. And they went in there, and that game, they fought, they battled. Yeah, they turned the football over, but they ended up getting that win. So credit to the Eagles. They're 2-1. Who the Eagles got next? Eagles got the Bucks. That's interesting. It's at Tampa. That was a rematch of a playoff game from last year. And the Saints. Who does the Saints have next? Saints at the Falcons. Oh man, that's a heated rivalry there. New Orleans versus Atlanta. They've been battling for years. The old dirty bird. The old dirty bird. And the last game from the 1:00 games that we're going to talk about is the Broncos against the Bucks. The Bucks also came back down to earth. Denver was desperate for a win, and they got the win. Bo Nix was 25 for 36, 216 yards. He didn't turn the ball over, and that's fine. Be part of the reason why they win and not the reason why they lose. And that's what Bo Nix did. And Bo Nix, he did a good job today. Bo Nix did a good job. The Broncos defense shut down Baker. Baker was 25 for 33, 163 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Hey man, on any given Sunday, them people there went out there. The Broncos, they were desperate and they needed that win, and they sure enough got it. It's not much else you can say about that. They needed that win, and they showing up, they got it. They needed that win, they got it. So credit to Bo Nix. He gets his first NFL victory. And not only that, they get a desperate needed win. Those were the 1:00 games. As far as the 4:00 games, we got some developing situations. The Carolina Panthers, after benching Bryce Young, are up 14-7 over the Raiders. That's interesting. You got the Seahawks, 17-3 over the Miami Dolphins. No Tua. a safety. Oh man, Dak just did that. That's intentional grounding there. That's gonna be intentional grounding. I don't know what Dak Prescott was doing right there. He was in the end zone getting ready to be sacked for a safety. He tried to be cute, and he got, man. The Ravens desperate. The Ravens desperate. The desperate team in the NFL always seems to win. Always seems to win. The Dolphins, going back to the Dolphins need a win really bad. They got to hold a fort till Tua get back. Tua's on IR for the next 4 weeks. Tua recovering from that concussion. Tua is not in good shape, y'all. He in good shape financially because the Dolphins just gave him 100, close to 200 million guaranteed money. He's in the state of Florida, no state tax, so he's gonna get a lot of that. The Seahawks are slowly moving along. They 2-0. Seahawks 2-0. Mike McDonald got them boys moving along. 17-3. That's what you do. You just stack wins because every win counts. Because when it come December, people gonna be like, okay, they right there. They right there. And that's what the Seahawks are doing. You got Atlanta. Excuse me. You got the Ravens, Cowboys. Ravens just made the Cowboys punt. Great punt by the Cowboys. Cowboys got some great kickers, man. Great kickers. Ravens just got the ball back at the 46 on the punt return. Hey, Cowboys, man. Hey, man. It ain't. Hey, it's gonna be real interesting Thursday night. The Cowboys lose this game on a short week at that. On a short week. You got the next game, the 49ers all over the Rams. The Rams are a mass unit. The Rams got everybody hurt. Everybody hurt out there for the Rams. 14-0. The question people got to start asking themselves, will the Rams trade Matthew Stafford? I said this at the beginning of the year on Hit the Sled preview of the National Football League season. If the Rams get injuries and they start losing, will the Rams trade Matthew Stafford? That's a question. Because Matthew Stafford won a new contract. Matthew Stafford won a new contract. The Rams ain't gonna give him no money. Rams got their Super Bowl. The Rams got their Super Bowl. They need another quarterback. Will it be Shador? Will it be Carson Beck? Nobody knows yet. But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting. Really, really interesting. Later on tonight, we got Chiefs, Falcons. And of course, tomorrow, Monday night, we got Commanders versus the Bengals. And the Bills and the Jaguars. The Jaguars, it's only 2 weeks in the season, but the Jags are desperate. The Jaguars feel like they need a win. They should have won the first game of the year against the Dolphins. They let that game slip away. Travis Etienne was going in to push the game out of hand, fumble the ball through the end zone. The Jaguars, the Jaguars are 0-2, but they're not an 0-2 football team. They're not bad. They just been losing tough losses. They just been having a lot of tough losses. The Carolina Panthers, Andy Dalton out there looking like he back with the Bengals again. Bryce Young ain't playing no more. They might as well trade that man. Get some picks for him and rebuild the team. Man, this thing right here is gonna be something. It's gonna be something. Ravens, they're not going for them 4-1. It's interesting. On live on Hit the Sled. Touchdown, Andy Dalton. What a throw! What a throw! What a throw! To Adam Thielen. What a throw for Andy Dalton. Man, Bryce Young was not doing that. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, man, this right here, what a time. What a time. What a throw. Oh man, that's a hell of a throw right there. Hell of a throw. Hell of a throw. Right between the numbers. That's a professional catch right there. A lot of times we all love and watch this game. We forget that these guys are professionals. The things that they do that make it look routine are not routine acts. Adam Thielen just caught a perfectly thrown seam pass from Andy Dalton, and he dove for it, and he caught that ball, and you can tell he in pain. But hey, he made that look easy too, and that was not easy. These guys are getting paid millions of dollars. What a catch! What a catch! Adam Thielen been at this for a while, man. Guy came from Division II school, rookie free, got on to the Vikings as a rookie free agent, and man, he made the team. He made the team, and he did what he was supposed to do, man. Cashed in. Became an all-time great with the Vikings, one of their best receivers. Got old. They shipped him off, let him go. He went down to Carolina, and he's been with Carolina since he left the Vikings. And now, you know, he just playing. He playing tough, man. So credit to him. Credit to Andy Dalton and Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen. They're up 21-7 over the Raiders. The Raiders got to get going if they want to win this game. They ain't playing Bryce Young. Maybe that's the reason why they did end up benching Bryce Young. There's a lot of plays out there to be made, and they didn't make them. And because they didn't make them, a coach does not want to lose his football team. Just like Arizona just got a turnover off a deflection. Touchdown. Oh, they not calling touchdown. This right here, what a time. What a time. What a time. Man, what a time to be alive, man. Let me let you know about the schedule. Hit the Sled. Hit the Sled will be coming. Hit the Sled will be hitting you with the episode this week. We're going to be going over the game film, showing you after the Commanders Bengals game what were the main talking points, what went on with that game. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be a tough game for the Commanders to win. The Bengals are on 2. Should have beat Kansas City last week. They were not able to get that win. So they're a desperate team. I've been saying the word desperate a lot. The reason why I'm telling you saying that word desperate is because in the NFL, most of the time when the team is desperate, they try and get that win, man, by any means necessary. You got to get this win. So you got the Bengals who feel as though they can compete for a Super Bowl. They can even win a Super Bowl, and they're 0-2. Quick 0-2. They lose to the New England Patriots week 1. They go to Kansas City week 2, and they lose that one. So now they come in with a Commanders team that they feel like I'm sure they feel like they can beat. And we got a corner for the Bengals calling the Commanders offense a college offense. Kingsbury did come from college. It is somewhat of a college concept, but it's a concept that had them run for over 200 some yards last week. So we'll see. The key to this game is protection. If they don't protect against my man, number 91, I'm forgetting his name on the top of my head. I'm going to tell you right now. If they don't protect for my man, number 91, I'm going to tell you right now, defense. Trey Hendrickson, number 91. That man don't wear no gloves. It could be 5 degrees outside. He ain't doing no gloves. He ain't wearing no gloves. Is that my man Blake Cohen with the flip into the end zone for a touchdown? Oh, nah, that's a dude, Keenan Williams. That man coming around that corner, he coming around that corner with a bad habit. They got to protect Jalen. Run the ball. And try to find a way to get Terry McLaurin involved in the passing game. Get him going. Get him some yards. Get him more confident. Try to get some explosive plays. Try to give him some explosive plays. Try to get him to be able to get the ball down the field a lot more. But that all depends on protection. That all depends on the protection. Can the Commanders protect well enough for them to get the ball down the field? Because Cincinnati is a very good defense. Cincinnati is good. So that's gonna be that game right there is gonna be tough. That game is gonna be tough, man. Then, like I was talking about, Jaguars against the Bills. It's in Buffalo. Jags desperate. Jags need a win, man. They need to win really, really bad. So, man, that's the setup. Hit the Sled will be broadcasting again live from the Hit the Sled studios. And not only that, we're going to have our film breakdown of the Commanders. We're going to have that. And also, we're going to have the film breakdown on the Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Show you some things that went on. Justin Fields, how he played, how he looked. And then not only that, have some more things to whatever games I feel like it's needed to show you guys. Hit the Sled is all about educating you guys about what went on in week 3 of the National Football League. We're going to be doing a lot of that stuff, and we're going to be doing some more stuff as time goes on. But this is, man, what a time to be alive. National Football League, college football. Find some stuff on college, on Coach Prime and them. Go through that. See what happened on those sacks. Be able to show you guys. Go from there. Have a pod going if I'm able to get some stuff on that. Present that to you, man. But we all about telling y'all what goes on. Educate the public as to the game of football from an offensive lineman perspective. I can tell you situations. I can tell you how to do a cover 2 invert where the quarterback's supposed to throw the ball, where the quarterback. I'm not going to do that. But I am going to give you the situations where I feel like quarterbacks should do this, do that, do this, do that. Because through the years, coaching and really, really watching and studying the game of football, I feel as though I can show you guys a thing or two. Man, with that being said, Hit the Sled studio as halftime approaches the 4 o'clock games. Look forward to seeing and talking to you guys this week coming. It's gonna be exciting. It's an exciting time. From college football to the national football league, man. With that being said, hit the sled, man. I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching us. As the Lions just did a flea flicker with Jameer Gibbs. Jameer Gibbs did the little rum around thing, and then man, they just scored. That's gonna be highlights all over America. Man, Detroit 19, they about to be 20-7 over Arizona. Detroit, another team, man. Hey, I know they lost to the Bucks last week. Man, Detroit right there, man. Detroit right there. Detroit is very good. Very good. Very good team. Man, hey, man, it's on. It's on. With that being said, man, I truly appreciate everybody watching Hit the Sled. I appreciate everybody watching, tuning in to my channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Not only should you subscribe to the channel, but leave a comment. Leave a comment. Hit the like button. And let me know, man, how you feeling, what you think I need to work on or whatever it is. Hit the like button. Hit the likes, man. I appreciate everybody supporting my YouTube shorts. Man, we coming, man. We're gonna be doing a lot more. A lot more things are coming, man. But from live from the Hit the Sled Studios, I'm Eve, and I'm coming to you live. And hey, God bless. I'll see you later on in the week. Peace.